Well, it's been a long time since I've been back to this old farm. These buildings were torn down long ago. And even though I seem to be spending more and more time in the cities these days, there's never a moment goes by that I don't remember. And thank God I'm a country boy.
Well, life on the farm and kind of laid back. Ain't much an old country boy if you can't hack. Early to rise, early in the sack. I thank God I'm a country boy. Well, a simple kind of life never did me no harm. Raising me a family working on the farm. Days are all filled with an easy country charm. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, got cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a butter on a riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. When the work's all done, sunset low, pull out the fiddle and cross it up the road. It's our sweet show, keep it kind of low. Thank God I'm a country boy. I play a Sally good Sunday. Good but Lord and my wife wouldn't think it's very good. So a fiddle when I can, work when I should. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. The sun's coming up, cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a butter on a riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. Woo-hoo! Yeah! Well, I wouldn't trade my life for diamonds. Told you all, I never was one of them money hungry fools. Rather have a fiddle and a farm and tools. Thank God I'm a country boy. Yeah, city folks driving in a black limousine. A lot of fat people, that's a mighty keen. Young, let me tell you now exactly what I mean. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, with the cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny riddle. Thank God I'm a country boy. Well, my fiddle was my daddy's from the day he died, and it took me by the hand when the moon was fine. Living a good life, and my fiddle was pride. Thank God you're a country boy. Well, my daddy taught me young how to hunt, how to riddle, how to work the way things on the fiddle. Taught me how to love and how to give to the middle. And thank God I'm a country boy. Well, I got me a fine wife, I got me old fiddle. When the sun's coming up, the cakes on the griddle. Life ain't nothing but a funny riddle. Woo! Thank God I'm a country boy. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, and welcome to our little television show tonight. I don't think that it's necessary for me to introduce to you these gentlemen back here, but I'm going to anyway for me. On the fiddle, Mr. Roger Miller. On banjo, Mr. Glenn Campbell. On guitar, Mr. Johnny Cash. The $6 Million Band. I love it, man. Also, we have another special guest with us tonight, another lady from Oklahoma that you know from the Mary Hartman Show. She plays Loretta Haggers. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Mary Kay Place. Stick around, we got a great show for you. It's going to be fun, it's going to be country.
John Denver, Thank God I'm a Country Boy. Brought to you by Revlon. Revlon, the people who help make the world a little more beautiful. And brought to you by Timex. Timex Marlin, Attractively styled, sensibly priced watches that take a licking and keep on ticking.
You fill up my senses like a night in a forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. Fill up my senses, come fill me again. Come, let me love you, let me give my life to you. Let me drown in your laughter, let me die in your arms. Let me lay down beside you. Let me always be with you. Come, let me love you. Come, love me again. Let me give my life to you. Come, let me love you. Come, love me again. Sing it with me. You fill up my senses like a night in the forest, like the mountains in springtime, like a walk in the rain, like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean. You fill up my senses, come fill me almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. All my memories gather round her, miner's lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. I hear her voice in the morning hours, she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away.
day. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads, take me home. Country roads.
All my bags are packed, I'm ready to go. I'm standing here outside your door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye, but the dawn is breaking, it's early morn. The taxi's waiting, he's blown his horn. Already I'm so lonesome I could die. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I've let you down, so many times I played around. I tell you now, they don't mean a thing. Every place I go, I'll think of you. Every song I sing, I'll sing for you. When I come back, I'll bring your wedding ring. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go. Now the time has come to leave you. One more time, let me kiss you. Then close your eyes and I'll be on my way. Dream about the days to come when I won't have to leave alone. About the times I won't have to say. Kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go. I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh babe, I hate to go.
Good evening to all you Brummies. Was that right? How about Brummagem? I got the wrong information backstage. Or maybe it was a little bit right. Welcome anyway. Because he called Forrest brother, because he called the earth his mother. They drove him out into the rain. Some people even said the boy from the country was insane, because he spoke to fish in a creek. He tried to tell us the animals can speak. Who knows? Perhaps they do. I know they do. Do you know they don't? Just because they've never spoken to you. Boy from the country left his home when he was young. Boy from the country, he loves the sun, yes he does. He tried to tell us we should love the land, but we just turned our heads and laughed. You see, we did not understand. Sometimes I think the boy from the country is the only one who sees. 'Cause the boy from the country doesn't want to see the forest for the trees. Boy from the country left his home, he was young. Boy from the country, he loved the sun. Oh,
Perhaps love is like a resting place, a shelter from the storm. It exists to give you comfort, it is there to keep you warm. And in those times of trouble, when you are most alone, the memory of love will bring you home.
Perhaps love is like a window, perhaps an open door. It invites you to come closer, it wants to show you more. And even if you lose yourself and don't know what to do, the memory of love will see you through.
Oh, love to some is like a cloud, to some as strong as steel.
For some a way of living, for some a way to feel.
And some say love is holding on, and some say letting go. And some say love is everything, some say they don't know.
Perhaps love is like the ocean, full of conflict, full of pain. Like a fire when it's cold outside, thunder when it rains.
If I live forever and all my dreams come true, my memories of love will be of you. Some say love is holding on, and some say letting go.
And some say love is everything, and some say they don't know. Perhaps love is like the ocean, full of conflict, full of pain. Like a fire when it's cold outside, thunder when it rains.
If I should live forever and all my dreams come true, my memories of love will be of you.
There's a storm across the valley, clouds are rolling in. The afternoon is heavy on your shoulders. There's a truck out on the 4-lane, a mile or more away. The whining of his wheels just makes it colder. He's an hour away from riding on your prayers up in the sky. 10 days on the road, barely gone. There's a fire softly burning, supper's on the stove. It's the light in your eyes that makes him warm. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long-lost friend. Yes, and hey, it's good to be back home again. There's all the news to tell him. How'd you spend your time? What's the latest thing the neighbors say? And your mother called last Friday. Sunshine made her cry. You felt the baby move just yesterday. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long-lost friend. Yes, and hey, it's good to be back home again. Oh, the time that I can lay this tired old body down, feel your fingers feather soft on me. The kisses that I live for, the love that lights my way, the happiness of living with you brings me. It's the sweetest thing I know of, just spending time with you. It's the little things that make a house a home. Like a fire softly burning, supper on the stove, the light in your eyes, it makes me warm. Hey, it's good to be back home again. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long-lost friend. Yes, and hey, it's good to be back home again. Hey, it's good to be back home again. You know it is. Sometimes this old farm feels like a long-lost friend. Hey, it's good to be back home again. I said, hey, it's good to be back home again.
So I got very, very close today to being a victim again. Doggone it, I hate to admit it, but it's true, and it comes out of this next song that I'd like to do. David Brower, who I love with all my heart and respect more than I could ever express, has been after me for how many years? About 5 years, to write a song called Healing Time on Earth. 4 or 5 years. And I said, Dad, I will. And I have wanted to desperately. But somehow it just hasn't come. And I kept thinking that it's going to be one of those songs that just one day, you know, it's all going to be there. And as we got closer to this year's symposium, I really wanted this song. So I read this wonderful book of David's, which came out this year, which I mentioned to you earlier, called Let the Mountains Talk, Let the Rivers Run. And I thought, oh, I can use that. I'll do that. And I read the book, and then I read it again. And I started writing a song. And this has been going on for a couple of weeks, and up until 4:30 yesterday morning, all I had was Let the Mountains Talk. Let the river run. So around all of the other activities going on here these last couple of days, I've been trying to see if something would come through. And this has lasted up until just before Melissa's speech, when I came out and had to be part of the program again. So David, I have something. You know, I don't know how songs happen or where they come from. It's an incredibly magical thing to me. Sometimes You literally sweat blood trying to write a song. Sometimes it takes months, and sometimes it can happen in 10 minutes. Annie's song I wrote in 10 minutes one day on a ski lift here in Aspen. Heart to Heart, that you heard earlier, I wrote sitting alone one night in a restaurant overlooking Hong Kong Harbor, having been in China the 5 weeks prior to that. Sitting by myself alone on a napkin, I wrote Heart to Heart. So I don't know how it happens, and I don't know the words to this song. I may know some of them. I don't have a melody. This is a song in progress, folks. But Dave, I don't want you to go home from this trip thinking that damn John Denver's never going to write that song. Let the mountains talk, let the river run. There is wisdom here, there is much to learn, there is much to know, much to understand in this healing time. All across the land, you have heard my songs, oh, so many years. You have laughed with me, washed away my tears. You have shared my joy, you have felt my pain. In this healing time, walk with me again through these darker days on this narrow line. Help me find my way, help me see the signs. I am not afraid, I am not alone. You have taught me well, you have brought me home. Let the mountains speak, let the rivers run, as the world awakes to the rising sun. In each brand new day, in our own rebirth, in this healing time on our mother. Let the mountains talk, let the rivers run. There is wisdom here, there's so much to learn. In each brand new day, in our own rebirth, in this healing time for our Mother Earth. In each brand new day, in our own rebirth, in this healing time here on Mother Earth.
Sailed on a dream on a crystal clear ocean, to ride on the crest of a wild raging storm, to work in the service of life and the living, in search of the answers to questions unknown, to be part of the movement, part of the growing, part of beginning to understand. Like Calypso, the places you've been to, the things that you've shown us, the stories you tell. Like Calypso, I sing to your spirit, the men who have served you so long and so well. Like the dolphin who guides you, you bring us beside you, to light up the darkness and show us the way. For though we are strangers in your silent world, to live on the land we must learn from the sea. To be true as the tide, and free as a wind swell, joyful and loving in letting it be. Like Calypso, the places you've been to, things that you've shown us, the stories you tell. Like Calypso, I sing to your spirit, the men who have served you so long and so well. Like Calypso, the places you've been to, the things that you've shown us, the stories you tell. Like Calypso, I sing to your spirit, the men who have served you so long and so well. All of her days have gone soft and cloudy, all of her dreams have gone dry, all of her nights have gone sad and shady. She's getting ready to fly, fly away, fly away. Life in the city can make you crazy, the sounds of the sand and the sea. I love the sea. Life in a high-rise can make you hungry, the things that you can't even see. Fly away, fly away. In this whole world, there's nobody as lonely as she. Nobody's lonely as me. There's nowhere to go when for lovers and children playing. She's looking for signs of the spring.
Where is the spring?
She listens for laughter and sounds of dancing. She listens for any old thing. Fly away, fly away. In this whole world, there's nobody as lonely as she. There's nowhere to go, and there's nowhere that she'd rather be. All of her days have gone soft and cloudy. All of her dreams have gone dry.
Where are my days?
All of her nights have gone sad and shady. She's getting ready to fly, fly away, fly away, fly away.
Hey, everybody! A lovely lady, Cass Elliot. Hiya, Cass.
Hiya, John.
How you doing?
Fine and dandy.
I'm great, too.
I didn't ask you how you doing.
Well, I like to say it once in a while because then it makes me feel
Just to
better.
remind yourself.
Sure,
that you feel
sure.
okay.
You know how it
That's
is.
all right.
You know, I'm really glad you're here tonight because this is about voter registration,
I
and I
know.
know that you've done a lot of work about that yourself.
Yeah, we're all just getting ready for a big push. This is very important, you know. If I could, I don't know who's been talking about it so far on the show, but I've been traveling around the country for the past year or so, talking at a lot of college campuses and trying to find out exactly what people are thinking. And the thing that's impressed me the most is there is still, in this country, believe it or not, after all the talk, a tremendous amount of apathy on the part of people who maybe don't like the way things are going and maybe want to change it, but don't do anything about it. You know? And your vote and my vote is not any more important than anybody else's. They are equally as important and very important. And that's why we're all here, to get everybody to get out and register. I don't think it's so important who you vote for. You vote for who you believe in. But the important thing is to vote because it's our way and it's the best way. And that's why I'm here, and that's why you're here, too.
That's great.
Do it!
Sure, Chris. Thank you, Dad. I'm glad that you were here to tell people that. She's a very eloquent lady.
It's a song that I wrote that I'm letting John sing.
I couldn't have said that any better myself.
I'll just walk over here until you're ready.
All right, let's see. Are you guys ready? Okay. All my bags are packed, ready to go. I'm standing here outside the door. I hate to wake you up to say goodbye, but the dawn is breaking, it's early morn. The taxi's waiting, he's blown his horn. Already I'm so lonesome I could die. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. hold me like you'll never let me go. I'm leaving on a jet plane, don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. There's so many times I let you down, so many times I played around. And I tell you now, they don't mean a thing. Every place I go, I'll think of you. Every song I sing, I'll sing for you. When I come back, I'll bring your wedding ring. So kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. Now the time has come to leave you one more time. Let me kiss you and close your eyes. I'll be on my way. Dream about the days to come when I won't have to leave alone. About the times I won't have to say. Everybody. Kiss me and smile for me. Tell me that you'll wait for me. Hold me like you'll never let me go. 'Cause I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Oh, babe, I hate to go. He was born in the summer of his 27th year, coming home to a place he'd never been before. He left yesterday behind him. You might say he was born again. You might say he found a key for every door. When he first came to the mountains, his life was far away, on the road and hanging by a song. But the string's already broken and he doesn't really care. It keeps changing fast and it don't last for long. But the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. The shadow from the starlight is softer than a lullaby. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. He climbed Cathedral Mountains. He saw silver clouds below. He saw everything as far as you can see.
And they say that he got crazy once and he tried to touch the sun, and he lost a friend but kept the memory. Now he walks in quiet solitude, the forests and the streams, seeking grace in every step he takes. His side is turned inside himself to try and understand the serenity of a clear blue mountain lake. In the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Talk to God and listen to the casual reply. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado, Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Now his life is full of wonder, but his heart still knows some fear of a simple thing he cannot comprehend. While they try to tear the mountains down to bring in a couple more people, more scars upon the land. In the Colorado Rocky Mountain High, I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. I know he'd be a poorer man if he never saw an eagle fly. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado, Rocky Mountain High. I've seen it rain and fire in the sky. Friends around the campfire and everybody's high. Rocky Mountain High, Colorado, Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High, Rocky Mountain High.
Grandma's feather bed, huh? When I was a little bitty boy just off the floor, we used to go out to Grandma's house and hunt in the sun. Had chicken pie and country ham and homemade butter on the bread. But the first darn thing about Grandma's house was a great big feather bed. It was 9 feet high and 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chicken. Made from the feathers of 411 geese, took a whole full of cloth for the chicken. It held 8 kids, 4 hound dogs, a figure we stole from the shed. Didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. After supper, we'd sit around the fire, the old folks would spit and chew. All the talk about the farm and the war, and my granny sing a ballad or two. I'd sit and listen, watch the fire till the cobwebs filled my head. Next thing I know, I'd wake up in the morning in the middle of the old feather bed.
It was 9 feet high and 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chicken. Made from the feathers of 411 geese, took a hold on the cloth for a tick. It held 8 kids, 4 hound dogs, the piggy we stole from the shed. Didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. Yeah! Well, I love my pa, I love them all, love Gran and Grandpa too. I've been fishing with my uncle, I wrestled my cousin, I even kissed Aunt Lou. Ooh, and if I ever had to make a choice, guess it ought to be said, I'd trade them all, plus the gal down the road for Grandma's feather bed. It was 9 feet high and 6 feet wide, soft as a downy chicken. Made from the feathers of 411 geese, took a hold on the cloth for the kick. It held 8 kids, 4 hound dogs, the piggy we stole from the shed. Didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. Didn't get much sleep, but we had a lot of fun on Grandma's feather bed. It always seems that way, and I've been thinking about you almost every day. Thinking about the good times, thinking about the rain, thinking about how bad it feels alone again. I'm sorry for the way things are in China. I'm sorry things ain't what they used to be. But more than anything else, I'm sorry for myself, 'cause you're not here with me. Our friends all ask about you. I say you're doing fine. I expect to hear from you almost any time. They all know I'm crying. I can't sleep at night. They all know I'm dying down deep inside. I'm sorry for all the lies I told you. I'm sorry for the things I didn't say. But more than anything else, I'm sorry for myself. I can't believe you went away. I'm sorry if I took some things for granted. I'm sorry for the chains I put on you. More than anything else, I'm sorry for myself, for living without you. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always makes me high. If I had a day that I could give you, I'd give to you a day just like today. If I had a song that I could sing for you. I'd sing a song to make you feel this way. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always makes me high. If I had a tale that I could tell you, I'd tell a tale sure to make you smile. If I had a wish that I could wish for you, I'd make a wish for sunshine all the while. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me cry. Sunshine on the water looks so lovely. Sunshine almost always makes me high. Sunshine almost all the time makes me high. Sunshine almost always. He was born in the Bitterroot Valley in the early morning rain. Wild geese over the water, heading north and home again, bringing a warm wind from the south, bringing the first taste of the spring. His mother took him to her breast, softly she did sing. Oh, Montana, give this child a home. Give him a love of a good family and a woman of his own. Give him a fire in his heart, give him a light in his eyes. Give him the wild wind for a brother and the wild Montana sky. His mother died that summer and he never learned to cry. He never knew his father and he never did ask why. And he never knew the answers that would make an easy way. But he learned to know the wilderness and to be a man that way. His mother's brother took him into his family and his home, gave him a hand that he could lean on and the strength to call his own. And he learned to be a farmer, and he learned to love the land, and he learned to read the seasons, and he learned to make a stand. woman of his own. Give him a fire in his heart, give him a light in his eyes, give him the wild wind for a brother and a wild Montana sky. On the eve of his 21st birthday, he set out on his own. He was 30 years and running when he found his way back home, riding the storm across the mountains and an aching in his heart. Said he came to turn the pages and to make a brand new start. Now we never told the story of the time that he was gone. Some say he was a lawyer, some say he was a John. There was something in the city that he said he couldn't breathe, something in the country that he said he couldn't leave. Oh, Montana, give this child a home. Give him the love of a good family and a woman of his own. Give him a fire in his heart, give him a light in his eyes, give him the wild wind for a brother and the wild Montana skies. Now some said he was crazy, some are glad he's gone. Some of us will miss him, we'll try to carry on, giving a voice to the forest, giving a voice to the dawn, giving a voice to the wilderness and the land that we live on. Oh, Montana, give this child a home, give him a love of a good family and a woman of his own. Give him a fire in his heart, give him a light in his eyes, give him the wild wind for a brother and the wild Montana skies. Oh, Montana, give this child a home, give him the love of a good family and a woman of his own. Give him a fire in his heart, give him a light in his eyes, give him the wild wind for a brother and the wild Montana skies.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree.
And on the second day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 2 turtle doves
and a partridge in a pear tree.
On the third day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 3 French hens,
2 turtle doves
and a partridge in a pear tree.
On the fourth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 4 calling birds, 3 French hens,
2 turtle doves
and a partridge in a pear tree.
On the fifth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 5 goldrings,
4 calling birds, 3 French hens,
2 turtle doves
and a partridge in a pear tree.
On the sixth day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 6 geese a laying, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens,
2 turtle doves
and a partridge in a pear tree.
On the seventh day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 7 swans a swimming,
6 geese a laying, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens,
2 turtle doves
And a partridge in a pear tree.
On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 maids a milking,
6 geese a laying, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens,
2 turtle doves
And a partridge in a pear tree.
On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 ladies dancing,
8 maids a milking,
7
6 geese a laying, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens,
2 turtle doves
And a partridge in a pear tree.
On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 10 birds a leaping,
9 ladies dancing,
8 maids a milking,
6 geese a laying,
a partridge in a pear tree.
On the 11th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 11 pipers piping,
10 lords a leaping, 9 ladies dancing, 8 maids a milking, 7 swans a swimming, 6 geese a laying, 5
4 calling birds,
3 French hens, 2 turtle doves,
and a partridge in a pear tree. On the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 drummers drumming,
11 pipers piping,
10 lords a leaping,
9 ladies dancing,
8 maids a milking,
7 swans a swimming,
6 geese a laying. Ba-dum-bum-bum, 4 calling birds, 3 French hens, 2 turtle doves, and a partridge in a pear tree.
That was wonderful, you guys. Merry Christmas, everybody. Fozzie, you got it.
I think nature is so very important to me because it's always been my best friend, my first and best friend, a place where I can always find comfort, solace, where I feel, it may be funny to say, but I feel listened to and understood at a level that doesn't happen in any other aspect of life as far as I can tell. And somehow that relationship with nature has always been there for me in my music.
John Denver had an extraordinary gift. The ability to transform the wonders of nature into music that touched the hearts and minds of people around the world. His songs speak to us of a deep kinship with the wild and its power to enrich the human spirit. This is the story of John's lifelong love affair with the natural world. A journey to the wild places that profoundly shaped his life. It would turn out to be his last journey, and our last chance to share the experiences that inspired him to become a universal voice for the wild.
Rocky Mountain High.
I've had enormous success, experiences not very many people have, the collection of experiences that I've had. You know, what else do you want to do? So it's not about being successful. I've had that. But I keep singing and working on, because I know that's the vehicle that allows me to be a voice out there in the world and to do something about the things I care about.
Let this be a voice for the river. Let this be a voice for the forest. Let this be a voice for the flowers. Let this be a voice for the desert. Let this be a voice for the ocean. Let this be a voice for the children. Let this be a voice for the dreamers. Let this be a voice of no regret. No regret.
Anytime you can be in the wilderness, it's pretty special as far as I'm concerned. But this place has an even greater significance for me. This is where the little Colorado River gives itself to the mighty Colorado and the Grand Canyon. And a long time ago, when I was 12 years old, I was inspired by the headwaters of this little stream to write my first song. Sitting on the banks of a lazy little stream, oh, how I wish it wasn't a dream. That's all I remember. But I'll never forget that it was nature that gave me my voice. almost heaven. West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River.
Country Roads was John's first big international hit. It was 1971. John had found his voice, and its message was heard everywhere.
Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama.
Despite differences in language and culture, everyone responded to the desire to live in harmony with nature. John's growing celebrity brought him unique opportunities, and in 1975, he got to meet a personal hero, Jacques Cousteau.
He is someone that is so much bigger than life in many ways that I constantly catch myself stepping back and just sort of looking at him, and you can't believe that you're actually able to spend time with him.
It's all one world, and everything has originated in the sea, and the water cycle is the life cycle.
Jacques' son, Jean-Michel, remembers their first meeting.
John Denver was invited on board Calypso, and he was so inspired by the experience that he had that he, went diving, scuba diving, and I believe this was the first time he had put his nose underwater. And that night he was so high that he started writing a song, and he spent most of the night writing High Calypso.
There's so much life and so much color. Was that a barracuda?
Yeah.
John is very much a Renaissance man in the sense that he is as good as music as he is talking about the environment. And of course his music, in many cases, celebrate the environment.
To sail on a dream, on a crystal clear ocean, to ride on the crest of a wild raging storm, to work in the service of life and the living, in search of the answers to questions unknown, to be part of the movement, part of the growing, part of beginning to understand. I could show the places you've been to, things that you've shown us, the stories you tell. I could show, I sing for your through, and in the laughter so long and so well for the lady, for the love, for the lady, for the
No shot.
From Cousteau, John learned how one person of vision can move those around him to action. Cousteau's work was an inspiration. As a performer, John had the world's attention, and he knew that his music could do more than entertain.
I got the chance to do documentaries, and I loved it. We were talking about something, we were out in nature, and I just had both a really, really strong, deep feeling about what we were doing and using my music to call attention to these things.
It was while writing the music for a film called The Eagle and the Hawk that John met Morley Nelson, a legend among those who know the birds of prey. Morley has devoted his life to promoting and protecting eagles, hawks, and other raptors.
All right, now we go. Ho!
Not far from his home in Boise, Idaho, Morley practices the ancient art of falconry. The gyrfalcon, released to the freedom of the skies, returns to the lure. Morley's years spent training and living with the birds have given him an intimate knowledge of their character and how they live.
Eagle sitting on the rock.
Now that's the golden eagle that lives up there. His head is golden, but he has no white in his tail.
Morley guides birdwatching tours in Idaho's Snake River Birds of Prey National Conservation Area, a preserve he was instrumental in establishing. The Snake River Canyon is home to over 800 pairs of eagles, hawks, owls, and falcons. They depend on the area's abundant prey and the sheer cliffs that provide ideal nesting sites.
What did you do to get this place set up like it is?
Well, my sons and I proved that the birds were here. Nobody would believe it. They said, well, there's nothing like that anyplace.
And we counted 212 pairs of prairie falcons and 52 pairs of eagles, and I realized that we had a unique area in the world that should be conserved forever.
What's this guy?
That's the prairie falcon going there. You see the long pointed wings and the speed that they've got. He's just taking it easy, but he's going this way he's supposed to go.
When did you first get interested in these birds?
Oh, 69 years ago when I saw one of these falcons.
There he goes. Oh!
You see, that's what gives you the thrill. That's what I saw, only it was, I thought, the fastest thing in the world. And I said, holy mackerel, I got to have one of those, and I have ever since.
I think nature must have been, and every aspect of nature was man's first inspiration.
I think it was too, because it was always, they were inspired by something that was beyond our ability, which that certainly is, except in a jet plane.
The son of an Air Force test pilot, John knew from personal experience the incredible speed and freedom of flight. Flying was more than a family tradition. For John, it was a passion. And like the birds themselves, it is a constant theme in his music. To belong to the sky, to be at home with this complete freedom, is to soar on the wings of eagles. Morley still routinely monitors eagles' nests along the canyon's vertical walls.
Well, you know, when you were with me the first time 27 years ago, I put you over the cliff down the Snake River, and you said, well, I'm going to learn to do that. And now you're looking great and doing better than ever.
I need to do this more than once every 27 years, Morley, to really feel comfortable.
Yeah, all right.
Do I need to worry about scaring this guy? Or just...
Yeah, you got to be worried about scaring him. It's still, we got to go real slow because he's big enough to fly if he has to go.
How old are you, Morley?
Well, 81.
Oh, God. Can you see him at all?
Yeah, you bet. Hello there, big one. He's got another 3 or 4 days before he may try to fly. A bobcat, a mountain lion, anybody, nobody dares to go near that baby eagle because the mother eagle would come down and take him out. And as you know, they hunt wolves in Russia to this day with golden eagles because they can take a wolf by the head and just kill him so quick. It's amazing. They've adapted to humanity. Look at all the action down below us. You see, as long as people don't disturb them and don't shoot at them, they stay there.
Is there still a problem with people shooting at them?
Oh, the shooting is a terrible problem.
Every year, dozens of birds are shot, hit by cars, and entangled by power lines, the casualties of advancing civilization. Morley finds it impossible to understand why anyone would deliberately harm them.
They've been such an inspiration to humanity since the beginning of time. And then they have this nobility in life, where they say, if somebody's going to kill me, I'm going to kill them first. And that's the way their life is. It's just like a soldier in battle. I got to kill that son of a gun or he's going to kill me. And boy, that's the way they live. He can tear anything apart, any kind of meat.
I can feel
her grip through the gloves.
Oh, man. She could take that foot and put you out of your misery, you see. But yet, look at that character.
You can't not be inspired looking at a creature like this.
There's nothing in the world like the American West. The wide open spaces, these mountains, the desert, the incredible beauty of the landscape, everywhere you look. In all the places that I've traveled, everywhere that I've been, there's something about the American West that personifies personal freedom, adventure, a frontier, the opportunity to make our own world, to make it what we dream it can be.
In Yellowstone National Park, a dream of restoring the wild frontier of the American West has actually come true. In a decision marked by controversy, wolves have been brought back to the park after an absence of more than 60 years. Today, their song once again fills the backcountry. Now Yellowstone is complete. To celebrate, John begins work on a new song.
Oh, the Yellowstone, oh, the Buffalo Run, oh, my brother the wolf, my lover the moon, oh, the little one, oh, the joy that I feel, oh, the love in my heart for wilderness song. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Ooh.
Despite all the years he has spent in wild country, this is John's first trip down the Colorado. As the river carries him ever deeper into the heart of the American West, he plans to continue working on his new wilderness song. Traveling into the canyon is traveling back in time. It's an adventure he is eager to share with his son, Zach, and daughter, Jessie.
See this?
What is that?
That's a fossil. It's called a nautiloid. It's like a, sort of like a snail, I guess. See, and here's the end of one.
It's a big one.
Well, this is a pretty big one here. Oh, look up here. Here's an identical. See this right here?
What is that?
So that's this one of these sticking out this way. You see the end of it. Isn't that neat? Jessie, are you starting to like hiking more?
Mm-hmm.
Are you? Oh, I'm so glad to hear that.
River guide Troy Booker never tires of running the Colorado.
Probably 240 miles of some of the best scenery and things that you could possibly ever imagine. I mean, you're basically down a canyon that at points can be close to about a mile deep. Right up here, you've got the Tapete Sandstone, which is about 570, 600 million years old. It goes all the way up above us here.
And that's this whole layer of...
Right, everything that's all finally eroded. And then down here, you've got the schist. And this is somewhere between 1.7 and 2 billion years old, depending on who you talk to.
Some of the oldest rock.
Yeah. There's only a few places on the planet where something this old is actually exposed.
Far out. I try not to say that anymore, but sometimes it's appropriate.
In a place so ancient, time itself seems to lose all meaning. A prehistoric culture lives by the river's edge for hundreds of years, then mysteriously disappears, its entire existence a split second in the life of the canyon. But time plays tricks here, and 8 short days on the Colorado can yield memories that last a lifetime. A trip down the river makes impressions that never fade. And over the years, Troy has seen how the Colorado casts its spell.
This place puts a lot of people at peace. You get away from telephones and business, and you can come down here and just drop all that. Live very simply, you know, with what you have is what you got. If you forgot it, you don't need it. It's a pretty simple existence and a pretty magical place.
Yeah! That's a grow.
It's personal experiences that John turns into music, and this trip down the Colorado adds another verse to his new song.
Oh, the waterfall, oh, the river that runs, oh, my brother the wind, my sister the sea, to the ocean shore, through the castles of stone, from the mountain top, calling to me. Oh, 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 oh,
So I've added a couple lines. Can't wait to hear where it ends up. You never know. There's something about where the sun sets that's different than where the sun rises. Where the sun rises shines on what we have today, but where the sun sets promises another tomorrow, which is opportunity, which is possibility. Over that ridge is a bright new world where all your dreams can come true. And for humankind, the horse was the first creature that could take us there.
creatures who worship the earth. They gallop on feet of ivory, constrained by the wonder of dying and birth. The horses still run, they are free. My body is merely the shell of my soul, but the flesh must be given its due, like a pony that carries its rider back home, like an old friend who's tried and true. I had a vision of eagles and horses high on the wing in the race to the wind, going higher and higher, faster and faster, of eagles and horses, I'm flying again, flying again, flying again, flying again, I'm flying
What a spot. Great scenery. Are those horses? Sure look like it.
20 years after writing Eagles and Horses, John joins biologist Joel Berger in Wyoming's Red Desert for a closer look at the inspiration for the song. The horses sometimes gather in herds more than 100 strong, but they are actually a collection of small, tight-knit bands under the vigilant protection of their own stallions. Running free on the open range, they are a living reminder of the Wild West.
I think that one of the things that happens when we experience or observe any creature in the wild is the inspiration that it gives us about individual freedom, courage, being able to take care of yourself, take care of your own, and create your own life.
They don't have any predators. Maybe us.
Except us. I just can't believe that we're seeing this many in one bunch.
You know, horses out here in the Red Desert are pretty unusual. They form these big groups that you don't see in wild horses elsewhere.
Well, so what happens then when you get a bunch of bands together like this and you have...
They're certainly scattering, and males are just leaving and running like crazy. What we're seeing are a bunch of 4- and 5-year-olds, probably, certainly younger males.
Feeling their oats?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. You keep thinking that there's a fence someplace, that somewhere these animals are domesticated to a degree, and yet every time that we've approached them, their alertness, their skittishness, they are wild creatures.
Less than 200 herds of wild horses remain in the West, and their numbers are dwindling. The open range is becoming a thing of the past, and like much of the wild, the horses are losing their freedom.
I want to take what I see, what I get out of the world around me, which is inspiring to me, and I want to pass that along to people who maybe don't have the same opportunity to sit out here under this big sky and watch those horses over there and be moved by them and be uplifted by their existence and by their freedom, by their spirit. I love all things that are wild. And I think that there's a wildness in each of us as human beings. It's what draws me to these creatures and the places where they live.
No place remains as wild as Alaska. Bush pilot and longtime friend Stu Ramstad is John's guide into the vast backcountry.
How long have you been flying?
42 years.
42 years. That's the only way to get around up here.
Only way. The wings are the way.
Wings are the way.
A little fire under the wings and away you go. That sure beats walking.
Alaska, to me, epitomizes everything about the West. It's a frontier, it's the incredible landscape, it's wildlife, it's wilderness. Wilderness, the greatest thing about nature, wilderness.
Wilderness conservation first brought John here in 1975. In the wake of the energy crisis, many were looking to Alaska for new supplies of oil and gas.
I did this film called Alaska, American Child. And the whole notion that we came up with was that Alaska was the offspring of the lower 48, United States. And that everything that had happened in the United States in a period of close to 200 years was happening in a very rapid time frame in Alaska, like 10, 20 years. My discovery of Alaska was what the film was about.
American child is the call of the wild, ever sing through the mist of your dream. Does it fly?
What I discovered was some of it was good, some of it was not so good. Some of it was going to have enormous impacts on people and people's lives, on the landscape, on the environment. We used the film to lobby for the Alaska Lands Act.
Before the machine changed the blue and the green to something you can't understand.
The Alaska Lands Act of 1980 protected more than 100 million acres of pristine wilderness from careless development. For his contribution, John was invited to speak at the White House.
Alaska, to me, is America's child. It will inevitably grow and develop, but it doesn't need to do that in a way that causes its innocence and its beauty to disappear. We can add growth in Alaska without losing naturalness and without losing the wilderness. So what is it about Alaska, Stu? I mean, aside from everything about Alaska.
Well, it's the trip through the country, like right here. It's the mountains, it's the glaciers hanging, it's the sheep in the hill right over there. There's a beaver house right there. The place is alive.
It's September, and silver salmon are running up Big River on Alaska's southern coast. John began fishing here 20 years ago. The company of grizzlies adds to the adventure. The salmon arrive in waves on each high tide from Bristol Bay. Hungry seals pursue them in from the sea.
It's a big silver! This guy's all the way across the creek. What a brute!
Old Stu catches fish everywhere.
Oh yeah, he's a beauty. I could see him flash when he came after it one time.
I got a fish! Oh, whoa! Woo! Oh, there he goes. He wants to go.
Boy, this guy don't quit.
They just don't quit at all.
Look at this Hummer.
Look at that. Golly, that's pretty. Nice fish. A little 5-pound rod.
This was to be John's last trip to Alaska. 1 month later, he was tragically killed in a plane accident in California. But here at Little Mulchatna, he finished his last song, the song he was writing for this film. We only have this home recording, but as always, it speaks to the deepest needs of the human heart. He called it Yellowstone, Coming Home.
Returning, forever returning, coming home. Belonging, forever belonging, never alone. My sister, my home. Oh, the tenderness, oh, the longing for love, oh, the beautiful way, the sweet coming home. Oh, come home. Oh.
A life in the wilderness is priceless to Stu and his family. For 3 generations, they've carved a living from the land in Alaska. Stu built his wilderness lodge in 1963, 17 years before the surrounding area was designated Lake Clark National Park.
We're the wealthiest people in the world land-wise because we own this property, and it's something you come to value when you travel and you see 7 wilderness lodges looking at each other, and they don't need a spyglass to do it. Here, we're in it. This is the place.
John first came to Stu's Little Mulchatna Lodge in 1976. Hundreds of miles from the nearest road, the lodge has become a refuge, a home away from home, far from the persistent obligations that accompany celebrity life. At peace in its remote beauty, John's mind often turns to music.
He's written songs here that, Born in a Cabin on Little Mulchatna, things that make my heart thump a little bit.
I was born in a cabin on Little Mulchatna, raised in hard times, but I had a good life. From the first time I flew with my
then I'd wind up a bush pilot's wife. We sleep near the sound of a slow-running river. I wake up most mornings to a drizzle and rain, and we live every day like the first or the last one, with nothing to lose and heaven to gain. Here's to Alaska, here's to the people, here's to the wild, and here's to the free. Here's to my life in a chosen country. Here's to Alaska and me. And oh, for a fire on a cold winter's night, once more to gaze at the great northern lights, for all of the beauty my children will see. Here's to Alaska and me. Here's to Alaska, here's to the people, here's to the wild, here's to the free. Here's to my life in a chosen country. Here's to Alaska and me. Oh, here's to Alaska and me. Oh, yes.
John often sings of freedom and belonging. And in Alaska's Lake Clark National Park, there's a creature that embodies both, the caribou.
You don't have to see the caribou to know and recognize the trails of their passage. And every time they pass, all the grasses, all of the mosses are stomped right down and look like there's been a motorcycle race through the country.
Wow.
Just torn right down to the roots. I was told by the Park Service it's the most that's ever been in the park, 100,000 plus.
You think we'll see that many?
Oh, yeah. We're going to track them down and find them.
So there's a little bunch over there, but are they stragglers?
They spin off groups of up to 1,000.
Will there be many predators following a herd like this?
The bears will be making themselves available along the timbered areas of the migration.
What about wolves?
Wolves also.
Yeah.
Wolves should be first in line. They're the main predator of the caribou.
Look at all the caribou. God, I've never seen so many animals. How far do they stretch out here?
As far as you can see, as far as I can see here, I'd say 8 to 10 miles.
I've never seen so many animals in one place.
Probably won't anywhere else.
I mean, everywhere you look, there's more animals than I've ever seen in one place. How old are the calves?
Oh, they're probably a month old, month and a half now, I think.
Do they slow down to have them, or have
Not
them on the
much.
march?
They're ready to roll in a day or two, you know. I mean, still pretty spindly, but they manage to keep up with these bigger animals.
I've just never seen so many animals.
It's quite a march. Got an intent and purpose to keep moving.
The caribou must keep moving. If they graze in one place too long, the land will take decades or more to recover. But over thousands of years, the caribou have worked out a partnership with these lands. They keep on the move, and the tundra sustains them. Incredibly, there are times when 100,000 animals can simply vanish into the immense landscape.
Well, if they just keep coming, they'll come right over us.
Both sides of us.
get a little wind of us and they're sniffing. What is that?
All they need to see is one little bit of movement.
We've been staying awful still.
Oh yeah, but they got awful close too.
It's hard not to want to look when you can hear them breathing and snorting right over here.
Yeah.
I can lay down.
We're right in the middle of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're going by all around us. Well, that little one's spooked.
To me, any experience that I have of wildness, anytime I see a wild creature, it somehow reminds me of who I am, where I come from, and what's possible for me. And all of that is very uplifting.
There are times I fear I lose myself. I don't know who I am. I get caught up in the struggle and the strain. Then my heart turns to Alaska and freedom on the run. I can hear her spirit calling me to the mountain. I can rest there to the river. I will be strong to the forest. I'll find peace there to the wild country where I belong.
It feels good to see something wild and free, because we too want to be wild and free. And there's so much, especially in modern day society, it's no wonder that these creatures are disappearing, because so is that aspect of our lives. But we can remember that as long as there are wild places and wild things. We can remember that part of ourselves, which is a big part, I think, of what makes us human beings.